I'm a Knowles Senior Fellow, American Master Teacher, and many of these spaces are filled with well-meaning whiteness. Hopefully sharing my experiences will help you reflect on yours. My parents believe that predominantly white institutes are the pinnacle of academic excellence. They allow me to get my foot in the door, be a step above, attend the best colleges, and access the world differently. I wish my parents knew that within communities of color, there are quality educational experiences and strong role models. That being around others who look like me might have been more important than the whiteness that they value in academia. My undergraduate program believed that math teachers should have strong content knowledge and utilize cooperative learning strategies. Yeah, throwback. I learned that public school classrooms were not as scary as my parents thought they were, and that teaching math could be a joyful and rewarding career. I wish they knew that culturally relevant teaching and equity-driven instruction is just as important as content competency and increasing test scores. You can't have one without the other. Knowing who's in the room is just as important as knowing the skills they possess. Not naming systemic inequities and pervasive white supremacy culture that still drives some of our decision-making to this day purposefully keeps some of our students from achieving success. My first goal was to lead Asia to the forefront of the modern world and focus solely on Chinese, Korean, and Japanese culture. I learned valuable methods for differentiating for English language learners, strategies for teaching autistic students, classroom management, and instructional routines that I still use to this day. I wish my school knew that focusing on one culture doesn't mean ignoring another. Erasure can still occur even if the dominant group isn't white. My Knowles Fellowship believes teachers are the key to improving math and science education. Teacher leadership can come from the classroom, and teachers can drive inquiry and professional learning and produce quality instruction. I wish Knowles knew how to protect educators of color in professional settings instead of requiring us to advocate for ourselves. Safety goes beyond listening to listen. It should be proactively offered. Much like this Ignite, storytelling has been an essential way for me to process and share the opportunities and experiences that I've been a part of. I reflect on a few of my equity-based PD participations in these two articles at this tiny URL. Also, you can follow me on Twitter X. Math for America believes teachers are professionals and experts in their own right who deserve to be paid a living wage. I hope they continue listening and making space for teachers, especially teachers of color. My second school was one of my few predominantly black spaces I've been a part of. Working with students and teachers who look like me from Brooklyn brought me joy on a daily basis. I wish my admin knew that white leadership in predominantly black spaces need to sit back, listen, and take a learner's stance to hear from the community. You know you don't look like us, so how can you speak for us? The Hollyhock Fellowship allowed me to work with my school team to rebuild equitable teaching practices while rethinking the classroom and school-wide practices that made my school community difficult for children to meaningfully engage in. I wish Stanford knew that equity isn't a buzzword, it's a practice. Work hard to confront diversity and creating a space for these conversations matters more than conducting research on t-shirts. Restorative justice isn't a quick fix, it takes time and care to make a difference. Currently, my communities are still predominantly white. That includes the professors in my doctoral program, my students and staff at my current school, and the fellows at Knowles and Math for America. I'm still pursuing a deeper understanding of issues of equity in education and what I can do to make improvements within the communities that I'm a part of. I have gratitude for all the opportunities I've shared. Most of these spaces were filled with well-meaning white people who I have built strong relationships with. Yet, in each stage, there were moments where I felt the barrier to be my authentic self, and was very aware of how my race showed up in these spaces. By sharing my story, I'm hoping you all get to pause and reflect on the ways you give up and make space, to place a little less emphasis on your intent and a little more on your impact.